Hi guys, my name is Allison and this is my teacher look experiment assignment. So my teacher look is that if somebody or a student is acting up in class, or maybe they're off task or doing something that they shouldn't be doing, I would probably just put my hands like this and just kind of stare, kind of raise my eyebrows a little bit. But I have my notes here. I practiced this look on my boyfriend and my roommate and also my best friend Riley, who is in field 3. So she's also in the teaching department. And my boyfriend kind of laughed at me like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me like that? And he also then mocked me and kind of made the same face as me. And then he asked me like, what did I do wrong? Like, what's wrong? Because obviously I looked a little upset. And he told me that if he were a student in my classroom that he'd be pretty scared. So I thought that was good feedback. And then my roommate just pretty much laughed at me like, what are you doing? And she asked why I was mad because I obviously looked frustrated or upset. And she told me that she would never have a good teacher look. She wouldn't make a good teacher because she could never keep a straight face in that situation, which I struggle sometimes too to do that. And but she did say I had a really good teacher look. And then Riley, who is my friend who's also in the education field, she knew exactly what I was doing. She was like, why are you giving me your teacher look? It was really funny, but obviously she knew exactly what I was doing. And she was actually pretty impressed. She was like, oh, wow, that's a really good teacher look. She was very impressed by my teacher look and she thought it was really great. And then we proceeded to compare each other's teacher looks and critique each other on them. So that was how people in my circle kind of reacted. And the lesson that I learned was that you can really tell a story with your face. And also your body language is so important to pay attention to. Even when you're looking at students, you can kind of just tell if something's going on just based off of their body language and their face and the way that they're reacting. And I also learned that students react more seriously and kind of scared rather than like adults and friends do. And for how nonverbal affects classroom management, I learned that it reduces unnecessary teacher talking time, which in turn leaves room for more teaching. And I also learned that it improves attentioning and listening skills, and it improves communication skills. And from the Fred Jones article that I read, when I said that I learned that there's more room for learning and less room for talking and having to repeat yourself, I learned that even though this can be a great tool from his article, that you have to teach your students that what your cues and your gestures are, because obviously if you do something, they're not really going to understand why you're doing it. And so a quote from that article was, teachers, however, should always remember that the meanings of gestures and other nonverbal cues need to be taught in the same way as the meaning of essential classroom language. Make sure that the learners understand your codes and teach them to use them themselves. So an example is sometimes teachers they'll clap and then the students will clap back, and that kind of just a quick way to get their attention. Also, when I was in elementary school, they would give me 5, so you would just put your hand in the air and then everybody would stop and realize, and you would count down. And that was just a really great way to get students' attention. And I feel like it does reduce teacher talking time, because instead of like yelling over yourself and like just keep on raising your voice, just keep yelling at them, like if you just have something like short and simple and sweet, it can kind of just get their attention a lot more. So yeah, that was my teacher look experiment.